Good day everyone, you are welcome to GeoGIS Solution Tutorial channel. In this video, I want to show you how to identify sinks and flat area using Filled Digital Elevation Model in ArcGIS. Flat areas and depressions or sink are important terrain features because identifying them helps in flood risk analysis, agricultural planning, urban development, and improving hydrological modeling. In this video, I'm going to show you how to identify sinks or depression and also how to identify a flat area using Filled DEM in ArcGIS. Let's get started. So the first thing, I'm going to show you the steps. Here are the procedure, and the first procedure is to add your digital elevation model into ArcGIS interface, and it must be projected. So let's get started with it. In ArcGIS, the first thing is to add our digital elevation model. So I will click on add data, and here is my digital elevation model which is already projected. I'll click on add. Now, to verify whether your data is projected or not, just right click and click on properties. When it opens, come under source, and here you can see that the cell size is in meter. You can see. Better still, if you scroll down, you can see the spatial reference system. Here is it, UTM zone 32 north. It is projected. If your data is not projected, it may not work. So just check the description box. I've done a video previously on how to project your raster, so check it out in the description box. So after you have projected your data, if you look at our procedure, the next action is to create your Filled DEM. And to do that, come to Arc Toolbox, then come under Spatial Analysis tool, come to Hydrology, and here you can see Fill. Double click to open Fill tool. Then input surface raster is going to be our projected digital elevation model. Our output, just navigate to your working folder. So name it Filled DEM and click on save. Then click on OK. Yes, the Filled DEM is done. So our next step, let's check it out, is to create slope map from the Filled DEM. And to do that, still under Spatial Analysis tool, come to surface, and here you can see slope. Double click to open the tool, and our input raster will be our Filled DEM, and our output, let's name it slope, and then click on save. Then here, the output measurement, make sure you check or select degree. Our measurement unit must be in degree. After that, click on OK to create the slope map for this area. Yes, the slope map is created. Let me uncheck these ones. Now after that, let's look at our next step or procedure. The next procedure is to identify flat areas using raster calculator, and this is the functions we are going to enter in raster calculator. Con into bracket slope less than or equal to 2, comma, space 1, comma, space 0. This is the function. So you can copy it or you type it in raster calculator. So let's do that now. So to do that, stay under Spatial Analysis tool, come under Map Algebra, and you will see raster calculator. So double click to open raster calculator. Then our formula or function, recall, is going to be con into bracket slope less than or equal to 2, comma, space 1, comma, space 0. So to do that, here is it. Con, this is our slope, then less than or equal to 2, comma, space 1, comma space 0. Then our output raster, let's name it flat area. Then click on save and then click on OK. Yes, it is done. Let me uncheck this slope. So if you go to our procedure, once you have generated this is the simple explanation. If the slope is less than or equal to 2 degrees, the value you get, 1 will imply flat area, while 0 will imply no flats. This is what it means. In this value, the 0 means no flat area, while 1 imply flat area. If your interest is on the flat area, so this 0, you can change the symbology, let's say to white, and click on OK. So all this 1, they are flat area. All these are blue, they are flat area. Here are flat area, while the whitish one, they are no flat area. Now let's go back to our procedures. After you have done this, the next procedure is procedure 4, which is identifying depression or sink using depth method. And for us to get that done, we have to calculate sink depth, and sink depth will be equal to filled DEM minus original DEM. So let's do that one now. And to do that, still come back to raster calculator. In raster calculator, sink depth is going to be filled DEM minus original DEM. So our output raster, let's name it as sink depth. Then click on save and click on OK. Yes, it's done. So I can uncheck this. Here is our sink depth. Now let's go back to the procedure. After we have calculated the sink depth, we have to calculate the sinks. To calculate the sink, we are going to use this function, and the function is this: con into bracket sink depth, which we just calculated here, greater than 0, space 1, space 0. So let's input it. To calculate our sink, we are going to use the raster calculator again. Then our sink is going to be con into brackets our sink depth greater than 0, space 1, space 0. So we have input the function con into bracket the sink depth greater than 0, space 1, space 0. Then navigate to your working folder. We will save it as sinks, and then click on save and click on OK to generate the sink or depression. Yes, it is done. So if we go back to our procedure, this is the interpretation. If sink depth is greater than 0, it implies that the value we got from these functions, 1 will mean sink exists. And if sink depth is equal to 0, it will imply that from the raster image we generated, value 0 implies no sink. And this is what it means. Here, this value 0, it implies that there is no sink, whereas 1 implies that there is sink. That is what this means. Value 1, when value is equal to 1, sink exists, and when value is equal to 0, no sink. Therefore, in this very light blue, I can change it to white. It means there is no sink in this whitish area, whereas in this blue area, it implies that sink or depression exists. So you can see how to identify sinks and depressions or flat area in Field Digital Elevation Model using ArcGIS. If you have any question or clarification, let's know in the comment section. Thank you for watching.